Let's get our MCU actors on.
That's right.
Our incestuous MCU actors. All right, let's see. We got that going. All right, we're good. Here we go, everybody. In 3, 2, 1.
With all due respect, Takashi, and honor, respect and honor, with all of that, I'm an engineer and I don't like unexplained frequency patterning near a plant where I'm responsible. I need a meeting. Make it happen.
All right.
I want my bag.
This is Film Sack.
Forgot I used that.
Oh, sure.
Hello and welcome to Film Sack. This is Film Sack, mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind, and this is episode 648. I'm Scott Johnson. Today, joining me, Brian. Where's Hank Azaria and Matthew Broderick Dunaway?
Oh, I miss his shiny self. Oh, hi. This week on Film Sack, we point off into the distance and scream, eek! A giant radioactive mama monster from Nevada is headed this way with a baby sack of doom. Oh my God, Zilla. Who will save us from the irony of our own destructive nature in the pursuit of power and control while we avoid raising our kids? Oh, look, it's HBO Max, now streaming the solution to our sci-fi-related action creature horror show conundrum. Oh, the answer is family? You sure it's not Bigger Nuke? Because we got one of those. Anywho, now in this corner, hailing from the depths of the Pacific Ocean, a scaly prehistoric beast with a god complex, atomic breath, and loneliness in his eyes, sporting a roar so terrifying, yet so badass that it could be its own hook in a rap song. He's 90,000 tons of fun, is Kazuki's uncle. And his opponent tonight are the Mutos, a couple of nice monsters trying to start a nuclear family and not a fight. And oh my God, it looks like the humans have just entered the ring, screeching like a bunch of howler monkeys, throwing their technologically advanced feces, and down go the humans back to the Stone Age. Randy, look, dinosaurs.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me. You had me with, they were trying to start a nuclear family. That's funny.
Yeah, nuclear family.
All right, that was really good. Also with us, Randy, didn't these two people making out on the couch just play siblings in the MCU, Jordan?
Aloha, Scott, Brad. All right, listen up. I'm Admiral Greyhair, and you can tell I'm in charge because I look 40 years older than everyone else on this boat. I'm here to bring you up to speed on the situation, which is monstrous. Okay. All right. We've got two unidentified massive terrestrial organisms out here. We're going to call them umptos for short. Yes, Perkins? No, sir. We will not workshop a better name. They are unidentified swimming objects. If they were UFOs, you'd put the letter U first because the word unidentified is the most important word in the phrase. So they are umptos. No, I will not take any more questions on the naming convention here. Every other combination of those letters sounds ridiculous. You know what? You can call them whatever you want. Call them Anus and Andy if you want to. Just make them stop killing humans as soon as possible. As you go forth, follow these 3 rules. Number 1, look around at all the men in the room. You see how you're all in your work uniforms, but there's this one guy who isn't? He's just dressed like he's traveling home to see his wife and kid. That's the guy. Just make him take care of everything. Number 2, remember, we're in the United States military, so our communication system just stop working all the time and then start working again immediately after we've resolved the conflict. Don't use any battery-powered tech out there. Gosh, we're dumb. Number 3, whatever you do, do not kill these things with conventional weaponry. We don't even talk about that. As far as you know, A-10 warthogs that could mutilate these monsters and turn them into fish food, A-10s don't exist. Nope. Did you ever see a couple Tomahawk missiles completely take down a 10-story building? No, you did not. Stop nodding your head. We're going to do this with parachutes and handguns. Go, go, go.
It's the most military intro you've ever done.
Yeah.
I liked it. With the help of the U.S. Navy. All right, with us finally, Brian. We found him for this episode using echolocation IBIT.
You did. My hair was all goofy. So Scott, you got on me last week. Oh, Brian, the song was all melancholy. Oh, you did like a sad song. Oh, it's so sad.
Did I really?
All right,
I don't
well,
remember this.
let's go a little more joyful for this one. Cover yours, kids.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap.
I think it's just all just coming together nicely a bit. I think your two passions have finally just
I finally
they've
found
apexed.
a way to make all that musical experience actually pay off.
Your
somehow.
little
When can I expect Parodyville? When is that coming?
yeah, when do we get Parodyville? Your backup singers saying shit is the funniest freaking thing I've heard all day.
Yeah, that got me too.
Oh my gosh.
Ain't that some shit?
That was great. And I say
backing vocals were
singers.
so much fun on this one.
Yeah, and you did like 2, maybe 3 people worth of background.
Yeah, three
Jeez.
backing vocal tracks and 1 lead.
You're a freak, man. Freak in nature.
What's funny is imagining isolating out just one of those backing vocalists and just seeing what it sounds like, which I did not do.
Oh, good. Oh, well, you saved yourself some consternation. What we're talking about is, if it's not obvious, we're talking about one of them Godzilla movies, and the one that we saw in particular is the 2014 edition, directed
220, 221, whatever it takes.
220, sure. Directed by Gareth Edwards, and he's we know him from all sorts of great stuff thus far in his career. And I really like this movie. We're going to talk more about it. We're going to dive in first, though, with a fake Fletcher, who explains what we saw.
Have you heard about the 2014 version of Godzilla, dude? Man, Kick-Ass, the Scarlet Witch, and Heisenberg team up with Ra's al Ghul to watch Gojira do all the hard work for 11 minutes. Man, it's awesome.
For 11 minutes. Pointed out that is it true?
Sometimes you don't have to go to IMDb and get the plot summary to use for your
You do hope to have some dinosaurs in your dinosaur movie.
There was a little bit of waiting too long for him. I wrote that a couple of times in here. It's like, where is Godzilla anyway? And not that I don't mind your big weird freaking bug looking ass.
The Mutos,
Muto thing.
I wanted them to have a different name, like because they've got all Ghidorah and Rodan and Mothra, and these guys. It's just an acronym. Oh, we're acronyms, and we're 2 separate monsters. We share the same acronym. Just male acronym and female acronym.
I actually had that question because I thought maybe they were trying to say an old one, and now you've confirmed what I believed, which was no, they just made this one up.
No. And it's because from the screenwriter's perspective, right? If you're just going to kill them off at the end, there's no point in establishing them, right? As like named important figures.
Oh, I see.
But, you're close. Like just call them something, like something that's compelling. There's got to be something.
They were really going for a real reboot here, right? Because we had had a couple of false starts with Godzilla movies. And so they were like really trying to do an original Godzilla, it was just Godzilla. And so
sure. But you had all these great,
they got there.
They got all these great villains. But what is cool, I read a bunch of stuff about how the Toho people, the ones that own the rights in Japan, and the creator, some of the creators' family and stuff, were really happy with this movie because they felt like it brought back the essence of what made Godzilla work in the old ones and had the spirit of it all, and how Godzilla is both a menace and a hero at the same time somehow, and I think they did a really good job of that. Like I'm not going to pretend like I'm super steeped in the culture of the old Godzilla movies, but I understand enough of it to know that this seems like a better
This
take.
movie was the first thing they did, I think, was they sat down and said, okay, family first, beyond anything else in this movie, and then cool ass Godzilla shit.
I agree. I just don't understand the overall plot of the movie. Like, no, wait, I don't understand the overall direction of the movie. The plot makes total sense, but like, why would you establish a character like Bryan Cranston's, especially with the time taken to have him lose his wife face to face through a window in a door, and then skip forward 15 years and just kill him?
Like, sacrifice himself to save somebody else or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know this.
At least with Game of Thrones, right? The killing is like, it takes a while before Eddard Stark gets killed. Right.
I don't know this, but it felt like they were like, they got Bryan Cranston and they started doing this part of it, and they went back and kind of changed the script a little bit. I don't think he was supposed to last that long. I don't think when they originally envisioned this character, he was supposed to be a setup for parallels to the modern character and his family, and would he make the same mistakes his dad made?
Yeah, maybe. But Cranston's like well in the new stratosphere of post Breaking Bad here. So I don't think it's not like they were halfway done filming.
No, I'm not.
Huge.
I'm saying when they wrote this story originally, I don't think the character was that big. But I think once you put Cranston in that role, you start thinking maybe bigger for the character.
Yeah, that's how you know in a movie like this that someone's not going to last is where their placement in the credits is. If they put them in there as an and. Or also featuring, or something like that.
Featuring and starring.
Yeah, as soon as you see that where he's final build, and you're like, oh, he's going to die within like 10 minutes of this thing. I remember thinking
of those opening credits.
Spoiler credits.
Oh yeah, let's talk about those. This is great. Love this.
So first off, that whole thing with the nuclear bomb, and they're showing them attacking or trying to kill Godzilla at the Atoll Islands or some like one of the Bikini Islands or something like that. That if you have not seen Monarch Legacy of Monsters, the Apple TV Plus show, they actually you should, because it is really good. It's so well done, and it recreates that opening scene as part of the drama of the show.
It's like it's attached to this movie.
Right. Well, they're in the same universe, right? All this stuff.
They're in the same. It's all part of the same universe, and so they actually build it with the characters, with young Dewey Russell or whatever, Wyatt Russell, and
Wyatt Russell is so good in that.
He is. Yeah, it's if you have not seen it, you need to add it to your list and watch it.
I would like more things where Wyatt and Kirk just do stuff together.
Play the same character, play younger and older versions of the same character.
Yeah, I think that's kind of awesome.
So the other thing they do is they during these opening credits have all of these reports, Monarch reports, that get quickly redacted, quickly written over until you're left with Ken Watanabe and Sally Hawkins and da 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 da. And there's one that I previously thought was the funniest one, which was the monster communicates through music composed and conducted by Alexander Desplat. And they cover up, of course, the first part of it. But I saw a YouTube video that actually pointed out the Bryan Cranston one. Says Walter Malcolm has claimed that government men dressed in white lab coats routinely appear at site, and Bryan Cranston shortly after the event, all residents were sworn to silence. And when they start redacting it, they stop for a split second and leave Walter, White, and Bryan Cranston as the text.
I said Walter Malcolm, like Malcolm the Middle's dad.
I didn't even think about the fact that
Malcolm
is in there as well, although he was Hal, not Malcolm. It should have been Walter Hal.
Yeah,
right.
The name
or
Malcolm
Hal Walters or something like that.
Yeah, they probably were trying to do a little double thing in there, but that's pretty great.
Yeah,
I love shit like that.
I do too. Yeah, and it is so fast. I put a link in our deal showing you how quickly that thing goes by. You don't even. It's got to be subliminal, but it is so quickly subliminal you don't even know.
Yeah, I'll stick that in the show notes on our Patreon, because that was pretty awesome. Also, it reminded me of Mad Magazine. It's like the final fold page where you take it and it looks like something else.
Yeah.
Then you put it over and you're like, oh, it made a whole other thing. That's like a credits version of the Mad Magazine fold over, and I loved it.
It totally is. Yeah, absolutely.
Really great.
This movie has some of the longest trivia we've ever seen on IMDb, and I think it just like really sparks people's imaginations. Like a bunch of it is not worthwhile. Like don't spend your time reading all the trivia like I did. I regret that hour of my life.
Please tell me who was briefly considered for the role of Ford.
It's in there, so I'll find it. There's trivia on IMDb about this movie that's just people speculating about how these monsters work. It's not actually trivia about the movie,
Yeah,
right.
But it's like you can really tell that there are people for whom this is their Star Wars. This is their, their Mad Max. They're all in, and they've watched all of this 5 times, and they know all the little details about every other creature in the universe. It's really amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot in there, and there's a lot of people who love it for all those reasons. I really like it for just about everything that we've said so far. What I think I like the most is it treats the Godzilla stuff as how do I put this? In previous versions that we would try to do, it was all about the people, and though this has a basis in the people, right? It's about this family. It's about Ken Watanabe's character and his history with all the projects that led to this and all this. Like all that stuff is there. But why I think these movies, this universe works so well, especially as they get into the Kong stuff and everything else. I haven't seen the new one, but I suspect I'm going to like it for all the same reasons. Is they're giving the monsters time to do monster shit. And that's great. This is where I have a problem with Transformers movies. Those movies have the same opportunity. Make it so that people are involved because we need the contrast. We need that. I get it. But make this mostly about what Transformers do. These are smart. They're like, let's make it mostly about what kaijus do or what King Kong does or whatever. And the people are secondary enough to still be relevant, but not so prominent that they're Matthew Broderick and what's her name trying to decide if they love each other while they run through the city. Like, I don't care about that shit.
What works
give
with
us a family story. Don't give us a love story.
Right.
What works with the Transformers is that we get a chance to have one of the Transformers that kind of hang out with us. So
yeah, right. We get Bumblebee as our kind of link to the audience.
Exactly. Kind of so I recommend the same thing here. Godzuki is our friend.
You want a Godzuki?
Godzuki is our friend. Okay. Yeah, I get it.
Godzuki!
It's let's see. So in the timeline, this starts that new monster universe.
Sort of. This is the first. Yeah, this is the first movie released in the Monsterverse, but chronologically, Skull Island does take or Monster Island.
That's right.
Yeah, Skull Island. Yeah, that was 2 years later or 3 years later.
Yeah.
3 years later. Yeah.
No, Skull Island is the animated series on Netflix that I've just queued up and getting ready to watch as soon as I finish my current thing. It's a different.
Oh shit! What's it called? Hold on. Something Skull.
Yeah.
Something Skull.
Yeah,
no, it's Kong. It's Kong Black. Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island. There we
go.
So the one that's just called Skull Island is the animated series, and then Kong Skull Island chronologically takes place before this and has the 1,000 other MCU actors.
Yeah, no kidding, dude. Tom Hiddleston, Sam Jackson, Brie Larson. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Or John Ortiz, who looks a little bit like Hulk. Not entirely like him, but a little bit. Yeah, it's interesting though, because that thing's in the 60s or something, right? The setting of it.
I think so.
20s.
Yeah.
Is it 20?
No,
the Kong thing?
Yeah.
The Kong Skull Island is more recent, like 70s or 80s or something.
I thought it was 60s. I don't remember. I like that movie a lot.
73. 73. Bill Randa. That's the John Goodman.
Right. Oh, you're talking about.
I'm talking about Kong Skull Island. Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah,
right.
And then this.
Yeah, no, the Legacy of Monsters, the Monarch Legacy of Monsters has stuff all over the place. 60s, 20s.
Yeah. So chronologically, that one's first, really, the TV show.
Chronologically, but that one goes all over the place time frame wise. So you almost can't count that as like the bulk of the show takes place in the.
Somebody
90s.
Right now is losing their shit. Somebody who knows all this.
I'm
really
sure
well
they are. Yeah.
Because like at the very least, I have to mention there have been 8 Godzilla movies since the one we're sacking.
Like, yeah, but only 3 in this universe, though, right? The consistent.
Sure, but like people take this like really seriously, and like there's all these Japanese movies coming out all the time.
Yeah, like minus one and Shin Godzilla, and they're absolutely. I mean, those are original Toho productions, and they're not in this universe.
Those are out of lore or out of Monsterverse.
Yeah, which is I don't know if that's. I'm fine with it. It's a little weird. Right? That there are multiple Godzilla universes. you know?
What's fine?
Listen, we've got multiple MCU, multiple Marvel universes with the Spider-Man stuff, and
that's true.
And Morbius apparently now isn't even in the regular Spider-Man universe. And
I don't feel like we need to look at it that way. Like Godzilla -1, it fits perfectly in with all of this. You know?
Well, I mean, it does because it's a giant lizard, but they're not.
Yeah, but it takes place in such like that.
He's not a giant lizard.
You know what I mean? Like
we have like the big event in this film when Godzilla finally shows up. Oh hey, and kind of attacks San Francisco. That in lore becomes G-Day, and it gets referenced in all of the following films and TV shows and things like that. Oh, where were you on G-Day? And
once
stuff
again,
like that.
Hawaiian erasure. Like,
well, yeah, good point.
Right
They didn't care about Honolulu. Whatever.
I love that. I do love that all of the attack on Honolulu and all of that devastation gets summed up in one shot of a TV that someone's looking at. Like, okay, cool.
Dinosaurs.
Those Hawaiians are all high on poi. What do they know?
Yeah.
But the Godzilla -1 stuff takes place in the 40s, right? It's yeah. So for that to exist in this universe, they would have really had to have forgotten about everything that happened in Japan in the 40s and said, "Oh, G-Day! Oh my God, there's a giant monster here that may or may not have attacked Honolulu, but definitely attacked San Francisco."
Well, they say in the movie that they knew that Godzilla. They already tried to kill him one time.
Yeah,
that was the
yeah.
whole,
They say in this movie that we're sacking that they tried to kill Godzilla at Bikini Atoll, which was July 1946.
Yeah, but they're not connected. I can promise you that. Think of comic books: Ultimate Spider-Man versus regular Spider-Man.
I totally agree. I just want to constantly be giving, acknowledging that there is so much around this Monsterverse that we're talking about.
Right. All I'm saying is him running around with pink stuff with King Kong as a buddy cop movie in this last one. I haven't seen it yet, but I freaking love that concept. I have no problem with it.
It is such a totally different film from this one. I'm glad I saw this right after seeing Godzilla X Kong, borderline of frequency or whatever it's called.
New Empire.
Thank you, New Empire.
Yep.
Because it is so totally. It is like comparing Thor: Dark World to Guardians of the Galaxy. The new movie it's a comedy film that happens to also feature Godzilla and Kong. Like, oh, we're going to give Kong a metal fist, and we're going to have him do a tooth extraction at the very beginning of the film, and all this sort of thing.
We had a listener write in and say this movie felt like a DC movie where they tried to take things very seriously, and then the next bunch, including Skull Island, turned into like MCU movies or Marvel movies.
It's true, and it feels like an MCU movie because most of the MCU is starring in it, but it also feels it's also got way more of the like a little comedy aspect to it. That's totally a great comparison.
And you liked this new one, right? You were into it.
I did. It is such a popcorn film. You don't go into this thing expecting Godzilla -1, which I think was, as far as drama and message and power, was so much better than Godzilla X Kong in that respect. But this is Godzilla X Kong is another thing you go to see Godzilla movies for. You want Godzilla, you want Kong and Godzilla to show up early,
and stay the whole time.
Exactly. I want them before the opening credits roll, like telling me to shut up in the theater, which they do in Alamo Draft House, by the way.
They do?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they have a little video of Godzilla yelling at Godzuki because he's talking on his phone and taking selfies and stuff like that.
This sounds like Dunaway's going to love this one.
I think he's going to love it. I'll find that video and send it to you, Dunaway.
I love knowing what the next one's going to be named, because we got Godzilla V Kong, Godzilla X Kong. It's going to be Godzilla Y Kong.
Godzilla Y Kong.
Yeah, Y Kong. Yeah.
I think they're going to go with more math problems. It's going to be Godzilla to the square root of Kong equals the side of the square of the opposite side.
Oh, good, because I love math. Let's do it. But this one is interesting because this is Gareth Edwards. Let's see, when did he direct? Let's see, when did he do? Was this before the Star Wars movie or after?
Before Rogue One, it was
before. Okay,
before.
So prior to this, he's all special effects guy. That's his whole gig in Hollywood, and he's very good, and everyone loves him. He gets this chance to do this, and pretty much blows everybody away. Everyone's very happy.
Yeah.
So then he goes on to do what I think still is the best modern Star Wars movie, like hands down across the board. Nothing's better than Rogue One. And then I haven't
take a stand,
and I haven't seen The Creator, and I probably should.
Oh,
it's great. Visually, it is a gorgeous movie, and that carries a lot of weight. Sucker Punch with a lot of us. And,
do you see that? You see, he's wanting to. Snyder's wanting to go back. He's got all the footage.
Oh, really?
He's like, let me do it.
He says
Sucker
he has
Punch Redux.
He says he's got everything he needs to fix. His words were, "Fix that movie." He has everything he needs to fix it.
because it's visually it's beautiful. It's a
Yeah,
lot of
but
fun.
isn't that
But
him?
man, if
Isn't
he
that
could fix
him
the story,
admitting that it's poop by saying he's got what
He
it takes to
admitted that
fix
Yeah,
he
but
it?
he's
didn't
saying
have-
it's probably poop because the studios made it poop,
yeah,
right?
because they didn't let him do his thing. It's like back off, and now people are letting him do his thing.
I don't know
So,
if that excuse works for every movie you do, though.
yeah.
you know,
Those earlier
I
ones.
think Cameron overused it, and I think it doesn't work for anybody anymore.
Yeah.
The thing that
I'll
strikes
allow it.
me is that Gareth Edwards isn't in demand for some reason.
Yeah.
Like after making Godzilla and Rogue One, where'd you go? I mean, you look at like I don't know, maybe went on safari for 7 years.
Working on the
Like,
creator, man. He's getting busy.
like how did no? I'm just saying he's not in demand. He's hey,
is it
where's all the
because-
movies?
Is it because they see him as an excellent special effects visualist for directing a film, but maybe not as great a content?
I think he's really good at big budget films like this and managing it and making it slightly profitable without too much risk.
Well, this
So I
made a
think,
bunch of money, and you're right. He lowered risk because they did a lot of. I mean,
Yeah.
Brian, you weren't wrong about bringing up the nighttime thing because the nighttime shots.
Yeah.
Right time is the right time.
Absolutely. If I only one huge complaint, it was there was way too much. Not that you can't do nighttime shots well; they can be done well. This
Yeah,
movie was
yeah.
way too dark. I couldn't see
It
shit.
relied way
dark.
too much, and it
Way
got
too
dark quickly and stayed dark. Like you had morning, and then maybe a little afternoon, evening. And now we're just gonna stay in evening for the whole.
Yeah.
for the
There's
whole
there's
time.
some traditions here, right? Like you always have your kaiju first attack out of sight. Then you have your kaiju
Yeah.
attack people see it, but it's nighttime.
Yeah.
So they
Right.
don't really totally get. Then you finally have a broad daylight idea of what you dole this out. Every movie does that. So like it didn't surprise me that the first little battle was in Honolulu at night.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm just like, is it always going to be night?
Yeah.
Like, this whole movie?
Turns out there was a lot. Although the Vegas stuff looked pretty good.
I mean,
you know.
the Vegas stuff looked good because it was like one attack and then the aftermath.
Yeah, good point. They
Right.
With,
They-
with
they-
the Muto walking away, like
I was-
job done.
yeah,
I was
there was
so
a bit
amused
of that.
by the lead into that. They go to Yucca Mountain where we're supposed to be storing nuclear waste. We don't actually yet,
Right.
but they go to Yucca Mountain. They find out that there's been a kaiju in there. Right? It
The whole
broke
time.
out. For some reason we didn't notice the massive crater
Right,
on the way
exactly.
in.
We only noticed that. Well, let's open each door until we can find it. Oh,
Yeah,
it's this door that has the entire side of the
They did
mountain
that.
ripped out.
They did that a couple of times.
then-
Every time they
then-
would show up, you didn't see the giant Muto heading back towards Vegas. No, all right.
Yeah. And then some guy with magical binoculars looks off across the perfectly flat desert between Yucca Mountain and Las Vegas, 100 miles away.
Yeah.
See,
This is
that
always
was
the
awesome.
conceit. This is always the conceit, right? Because it's always we got giant monsters, but we don't know where they are. How'd you not know where they are? How would you not know where a big
Right.
giant moving stink is? You're going to see it, and so. But
Especially
it
this
is-
thing
it
and the
is
way
kinda scary.
the way that thing made some of the coolest sound work I've heard in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that stuff.
Love
oh my
it.
gosh. I'd love to
Boy,
see
I
it.
hate monsters that walk on their knuckles, though. That just looks like
Nah.
it hurts.
Oh
But
man.
it looks terrifying too, doesn't it?
It does. Like if they're bending their wrists forward and walking on their wrists.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gross. And they got those backwards legs. And that thing looked
Yeah.
like it was made out of like the hardest carapace you could make for a
Yeah.
monster. And
Yeah.
just cool. That shit's cool. I was
I love
into
it.
it. I know a lot of people at the time. I remember people saying, "Oh, I wish it was like Mothra or some shit." And I remember going,
We got it.
"Well,
wait,
we got it
wait, just
later.
wait for
It comes up
Yeah.
in the next one." And the one thing. So I have a chick in the bucket in this that is not real. So I'm gonna play it.
Grab a bucket.
I swore Millie Bobby Brown was in this one.
Nope.
A lot of people
Gosh,
do.
Would have
Not
she
yet.
would have been like 9.
I know that's the dumb thing about it is I know the timeline in my head. I just for whatever reason I kept waiting for her to show up, and I'm like, why isn't she
Yeah.
here? Oh, she's in that next one. The two,
she's in the
those
next
two,
Godzilla movie.
yeah, those two bleed together for me in my memory until I watched this anyway. And now I'm kind of settled, or I'm better. But
Yeah.
she's like, it would be like if I watched the other one and I'd say, well, wait, where's Bryan Cranston at? Didn't he show up in this? Like I mixed these two actors.
Their paths
Together.
did not cross.
Yeah.
And I just really want continuity like that in general. Like there in the last two, V and X, there's only been one person that was in both. And like I'm watching this movie going, oh, I hope I get to see more Bryan Cranston. Nope. No.
Nope.
Oh, I hope I get to see more Aaron Taylor Johnson. Do I really? Not really.
He's all right. I like him.
I thought he played it really, really well here. For the character he was playing, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't love him in Ultron, but they also didn't give him a lot to do in Ultron. They were just sort of,
gosh, no, he's there as a sacrifice. He's there as a red shirt.
Yeah, but it is pretty weird seeing those two make out on the couch and.
Look out, you guys! Don't do it.
It would if he even remotely looked like he did in Ultron, because he looks so different with a shaved head, and as opposed to like the Ryan Gosling in a windstorm that he looked like in Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ryan Gosling, Aaron Taylor Johnson's in The Fall Guy.
Oh,
is he really?
All right then.
Yeah.
Let me sign
Is he
right
playing
up.
a young Ryan Gosling?
Aren't they about the same age? Are they?
They're about the same age.
Yeah.
I think they are. I don't know.
He plays-
Actually,
he
Gosling
plays-
seems a little younger.
He plays. I think the other Aaron dude's younger. I think I could
I
be
can't
wrong
believe
on
Gosling still looks as young as he does.
Gosling's
First time
like-
I looked at him like, God, you've been here forever.
He's
I've
like
known you since I was a
40,
kid.
42 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in his 40s now.
Aaron Taylor or Perry Johnson is. It's funny. He changed his name from Aaron Perry Johnson to Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Wow, get that
Yes.
Perry out of here. I don't want that Perry in there. Maybe his grandpa was a dick or something.
Maybe. But he's 33, so he's a lot younger.
Oh, he's a young boy.
Yeah.
I like him. I don't know why we don't see him in more stuff. I don't have a problem with him. I think he's fine. He's a little stoic and same faced and
I
whatever.
often complain about this, so I want to give this movie some credit. I never felt bad about Aaron Taylor Johnson's American accent. He did a great job this entire movie.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah. See, are they teasing? Is he the guy they're talking about as a potential James Bond?
No, it's the
Like,
other
is it-
kick-ass kid. The Oh wait, maybe that's him. Is that him? Hold on.
See, I'm looking at him trying to find it because I know that we were surprised. Let's see, he's going to be Kraven the Hunter, right? In this
The
speaking of
Craven deal.
Marvel.
You are 100% correct. He's the rumored new Bond. You're right. That's the guy. Yeah. You know what? You could do worse. It's fine.
Yeah.
I need to hear him. I need to hear him say "shaken, not stirred" and some of that stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. Exactly. I think I've only seen him with his with an American accent. I can't think if he in Tenet if he had a British accent in.
Oh yeah,
in
he
Tenet.
was good in Tenet. I liked him in
There's
that.
also an actor named Henry Golding who is British Malaysian,
Mm,
and there's been some rumors that he's in the running.
that's cool.
It's weird. We talk about this at least once a year on FilmSack, and it's always different. Every year there's like a different list of names for the next James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it. I used to be real skeptical of that, and then I quit doing that because I think they've kind of gotten it right every time, even though I'm skeptical. Like I saw Daniel Craig's photo and I'd seen Road to Perdition, and I'm like, that guy? Really? He's kind of ugly. I don't even know how you do that.
Nah.
And not only did it work spectacularly for the most part. So I have faith. Whatever.
Yeah.
The broccoli family will figure it out, you know?
Yeah, I just gave you a picture of Henry Golding.
Let's see.
He was in Crazy Rich Asians. Like I say, he's Malaysian and English, and like if you're not really precious about what James Bond looks like precisely, like you can see it. He'd be fine.
I'd be fine with it. Also, he's got that Harrison Ford quality, which is if you put your hand up and cover half his face, he's got one kind of smile.
he's the comedy and tragedy icon, basically.
Yeah, except in this case, he's smiling real good, and both are just different smiles.
Yeah.
But if you do that to Harrison Ford, he's pissed and happy at the same time. Try it sometime out there, listeners. It is a weird ass effect.
It really is.
It's very strange. He is in two
There's
very
another-
different moods.
There's another great picture of Aaron Taylor Johnson where he says, "Well, if I'm going to be a Bond, I'm going to be a lot like the Roger Moore Bond."
Yeah.
I like that picture. That's great.
Once again, he always looks. Get a picture of the guy where he doesn't look like he's aping on Ryan Gosling every time. Every time.
There's a little of that.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that Beavis and Butthead thing from SNL? Did you watch that? by
Yes.
chance? I about
the best.
I about shit myself. I've never laughed so hard.
I like that everybody in that scene was having a hard time keeping their cool, especially.
I was wondering last night if they did a proper dress rehearsal. Like, there were so many moments.
Oh.
Michael Che had no idea that Caitlin Clark was going to be coming out on the set. Like, they must have had someone else fill in and pretend to be
I have
Caitlin
not seen
Clark.
Weekend Update yet, so but
Oh, Yeah, I haven't seen that. I'm just talking about the Beavis and Butthead bit.
Just like all throughout the show. All throughout the show, people were just like losing their minds.
Wow.
Huh.
That's cool. I like it when they laugh at each other.
Yeah,
makes me laugh. But that thing made me laugh really hard, and I forget who is it who played Butthead? Because Beavis was
Mikey Day.
Okay.
Yeah, Mikey Day was Butthead. Yeah,
that made me laugh. Like I thought that Beavis was fine. Gosling looked fine. Yes. Right? It was convincing.
The lips on Mikey Day.
Oh my gosh, I was dying.
Whatever they did to make his top lip stick up over his gums. But the fact that Heidi Gardner, her reaction when she first turns around and sees him, I see what you mean, Ray, because no way did she see him in full makeup.
Yeah. Before. Oh yeah. Had to be, right?
Yeah.
Gosh dang it, that made me laugh. And I don't even watch this and all that religiously, but that whole scene, holy shit.
That was a hilarious skit, and not as intentionally funny as the skit was supposed to. Like, it wasn't funny for the reasons they wanted it to be initially, but funny
with any episode of Saturday Night Live. There's always this question of, you got a non-comedian standing on the stage, what's he going to monologue about? And dude absolutely killed it last night. I think Ryan Gosling is like rapidly becoming our preeminent like entertainer. Like,
I love that guy. Yeah, he had me at 2049, but anything else is fine. Whatever. Real quick here, this is interesting about the 98 movie in contrast to this one. In 98, famously anyway at the time, the Navy refused to work with the filmmakers. They didn't like the story, they didn't like where it was going. And this one, they were all in. They're like, whatever you need, let's do it.
We missed out on that last one. We're not missing out on Godzilla.
I don't think they felt like they missed out. What I think they wanted was like a really raw, positive image. And they got it.
They always do.
Yeah, and they got it here.
They always do.
Yeah, they don't want...
Actually, what they're doing is preparing us for the real kaiju, which are coming. And this is just a recruitment film. Yes.
Sure, why not?
We're monster hunters. That's what we are.
They're actually in Henderson, Nevada. That's where they're being stored.
Oh.
And...
yeah.
Henderson.
Now we think they're all there.
Pahrump. They're being stored in Pahrump.
Up near Red Rocks.
Yeah.
So did anybody else get that feeling like when you were watching this? I've seen this Godzilla movie before, but when I watched it this time, I almost had that Karate Kid moment where I'm like, who's the bad guy here? We've been pushing family really hard this whole time. And the Mutos are really doing nothing other than trying to eat, live, and reproduce. And Godzilla shows up, and the humans are all like, "Kill it!" And Godzilla's like, "I'm gonna get it."
Yeah.
Well, right. Like, so the conflict here is between indiscriminate and discriminate monsters, right?
Right.
The Mutos are indiscriminate. They couldn't care less about humanity, whereas Godzilla, for some reason, has just a soft spot enough for people that he's like, I'm not gonna murder everyone on this Golden Gate Bridge right this minute.
Yeah. But what I think about always in these movies, and it was impossible here not to think about this, it's the secondary damage that even though it seems like Godzilla just wants to get rid of these two bugs and move on, and everyone's cheering him for it, right? Mm-hmm. But when he fell down there in the city, probably took out another 500 to 600 people just falling down. Walking out of there, probably another 10 or 20 just with one step.
Walk out. You mean stumble out in his walk of shame. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I really
did you see that? Oh no, God. I hope you didn't catch that on camera. Oh.
I love the idea that Godzilla's a D&D character, and he's just like used his 1400 actions, and now he has to turn.
Yeah.
And so it happens twice. He has to take a rest turn, and then he gets about 17 more actions, and then he has to take another rest turn.
Yeah. It's funny because they never really get into that, but just the act of him moving around, King Kong too, it's just it's just killing people. Like tons of people dying, and we don't think about them because they're not, one of our four titular.
They're not important to the story,
right?
And this isn't the most generous to the military movie. Like that, we see planes falling from the sky repeatedly, and some of those pilots died.
Most ejected, but some of them died. I love that dropping though. That's just so.
The red flare smoke. That was so cool, dude.
Yeah, coming out of this, everything was just coming out of the smoke. It just felt
that's something else.
Halo jumping.
Halo, we're gonna do a Halo jump. Yep,
and that was one of those things like you don't see it very often in movies. Like this was a really great depiction.
There's less sound here than in space, and lots of times because it's like it's this weird thing that's going on where it's like really quiet and smoke, and humans are walking around looking, going, oh shit, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? And Godzilla pokes his head out and goes,
yeah. When he does that, when his face comes out of the smoke and the blue or the red haze and stuff, and does one of the bigger two roars of the movie, it's something, man. And when he breathes, when he shoots blue fire down the neck of one of those things, that is so badass.
That shreds it.
Godzilla's Baja Blast in this movie is
amazeballs.
The most exciting thing. Like it's like you want more of it. Of course, the movie's never going to give you as much as you want. You get to see him Baja Blast about 4 times, and that's it.
Yeah, you're right.
I love the term Baja Blast.
Boy, he just takes it out.
It's so cool. Like it just, that to me where they win me over with these new ones is these moments of like, holy shit, we can do things with special effects now where we don't have to worry so much about the seams. We believe what we see. We see it and we go, oh yeah, he's a big breathing monstrous thing that lumbers around with real physics. Like none of this feels fake. So now that we're that point, show me such badassery that I'll never forget it, and that's what I need more of. And that was what that was his John Wick moment. It was like, holy effing crap, dude! If you don't grab every monster by the face and breathe Baja Blast down their throat, I'm out.
I'm out of here.
And it really is the climax of the film. You're like you've got your hero laying beaten on a boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like the other Muto, the surviving Muto is gonna get him. The only thing that could happen. And by the way, you've established in that moment that Godzilla is sleeping somewhere because he used all his turns. So it's awesome climax. Like you can't come up, give me a better way to end this thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. And that's what really, I remember. Okay, so I will say this. I think the story's a little flimsy on the human side. And that's okay. Again, it's okay for these movies. They don't need to be anything else. But there is something lost because in this case, I have to watch this on a computer. I'm capturing audio. I'm doing, kind of this isn't a big theater experience for me. The movie really benefits from when I saw it in theaters of that giant screen, that incredible sound, the rumbling floor. Like, I feel like these movies need that part of the spectacle. And I don't usually argue for going to the theater and spending your life savings and being around people who annoy you and all that. It's not my favorite way to watch movies, but movies like this, I don't know, man, you kind of got to be there.
You could do this at home too, though. I mean, in my bedroom, I have a projector that goes to a 100-inch screen, and then I got some Logitech computer speakers that have really overdriven bass. It's not a real well-balanced system or anything. I probably have maybe like $800 invested into the whole thing, which was what people used to spend on TVs. And I get to do it all the time. I've had that for almost 7 years now. So I mean,
you can do
there's something about seeing these popcorn films with a crowd, though, and you get the right kind of crowd, and but you get you see it with the right crowd, and like they're cheering when Godzilla finally shows up and comes out of the smoke, or when Kong gets his tooth extracted or whatever. But but it's those moments. It's like, all right, this is why I go. Screw you, Nicole Kidman. This is why I come to the theaters.
Yeah, I'm not doing it because. Yeah, not her reasons are not my reasons. Let's put it that way.
No. Heartbreak just feels good in a place like this.
Yeah,
you're in an empty theater. No, you don't have to deal with the people who take their shoes off and their socks and put their bare feet up on the divider wall.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a recent experience I have at the movie theater? It makes me feel both bad at the same time as going, but why?
Go for it.
Yeah, well, so we at our theater now, you pre-purchase all your tickets, and so I pre-purchased my tickets, and when you get the app, it shows you it's like exactly where we're gonna sit. You can tell who's gonna be sitting around you, so you go in, you buy your tickets. Cool. And so I bought my tickets, and I bought them at the last minute too. I mean, I was like 30 minutes before the movie started, and I went in, and nobody's sitting near me. Clicked my ticket, got in there, went inside, and look. I have friends who have autistic children, and there's a family came in, sit down 1 seat away from me, set their autistic child 1 seat away from me, who talks super loud the whole movie. Look, I appreciate it. You want to come see a movie too, but you could just thought a little bit about it. But then I also felt bad. I'm like, oh, this kid's getting to experience something pretty cool, and he's having a way better time than I am. But I was also like, screw you, parents, for sitting your kid beside me. You know his behavior. You know his behavior.
Was the rest of the theater mostly empty?
I'm almost completely empty. Well, it was like
Uh,
us in like, and it wasn't like I sat right in the center, right on the first row,
Sure.
where's the prime seat. I actually went over a few seats because I was like, well, it's fine. But yeah,
Usually
but I
they've
felt
got,
both
and I
bad
don't know
and
if,
mad at the same time.
and I don't know if people who have autism suffer from like oversensitization from
Overstimulation.
loud. Yeah, like it's
Yes.
some theaters will actually have like a, hey, we've got the volume a little bit lower on this
Right.
one. If
oh
you,
yeah, there's those theaters also. They'll have the room lights up a little bit.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
It's not
for
so
a
dark.
desensitized showing or something like that. And
It's
I
also
don't know
really
if that-
that the spectrum is a spectrum for a reason. It's huge, and there's
Yes.
tons and
Yes.
tons of things like that. So it's probably pretty hard to cater it to any one group or whatever.
I think so. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
This-
which
this-
is, you know,
these parents could have set the kid on the other side, but no, they said, let's sit this guy, let's sit our kid the closest to this other guy. And I'm like,
yeah, that
Not
part.
mad at the
See,
kid.
I'm
Not
with you.
mad at the kid.
I'm with you. The kid is not the problem. Those parents should have
No.
not. If you had a mostly empty theater, do not stick them right next to
Yeah,
Dunaway.
because
You
they get the choice of where they buy their tickets
They
and
get
the
a
seats
choice.
and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the last times that we went to AMC before every place started letting you pre-purchase your seats, Tina and I went and saw something, and it was something during the middle of a Saturday. It wasn't even Saturday night. It was like a Saturday afternoon, and it was winter time. And we came in, and it was an empty theater. So Tina and I both take our coats off. She puts hers on the seat next to her, and then I have mine. Basically, I'm sitting on my coat or laying back on my coat. And a couple, I swear to God, empty theater. A couple comes in, goes up to Tina and says, "Is this seat taken?" To the one where she's got her coat.
I would be so annoyed. Oh my gosh.
It's like they had to have been doing it on purpose, but there wasn't any
Yeah.
sort of like cracking up or joking. That she moved
Right.
her coat and they sat down next to her, and she says, or she said something like, "If you're not going to talk during this thing, then yeah, you can sit here."
Did she really?
She did
Oh, I
say
love
that.
her.
Yeah,
That's great.
yes. And
Yeah.
and no, they sat next to her. They were totally quiet the whole time, but still, it's like, wait, empty theater. Go 4 seats over, 1 seat over. Let her have her coat there for Pete's sake.
Yeah, that's really weird to me. That must be somebody who's like, I follow the rules to the exact letter, and this is the seat I bought.
They have in their mind what the best seat in the house
best
is.
seat, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the seat that we want to have. Yeah,
I had a fun little moment with my kid a couple weeks ago. We went to see Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, and we
That's fun.
went to a very large movie theater, and there were maybe 3 or 4 couples scattered out already. It was like a couple minutes before the movie started, and so there were like 3 or 4 couples. They're scattered out all over, and you have a decision to make in a moment. And we were just talking about this. Do you sit kind of behind people, or do you sit kind of in front of people? And what the question is do you want to take a chance that their movements in your field of vision are going to bother you, or do you want to take a chance that behind you they're going to be talking and bother you?
The sound behind you, yeah.
And it was just a really interesting moment. Like, what? And we kind of stopped and looked at them, like,
Right.
do they look like the people who are going to talk, or the people who are going
Are
to
these movers and shakers? Yeah.
Right.
we ended
I'll
up sitting in front. We were the people in the most front of all the others, but
Right.
like that was just, I don't know. I didn't really come to a good decision.
Right.
I'll usually take the hit. I would prefer me to be out of I'm always trying to be considerate of other people because,
Yeah. Of course.
for me, going to the movie theater is, expensive, but I'm a little bit older, got some disposable income. It's no big deal. And I'm like, some of these people, this may be their first movie experience in, a decade or something. Then maybe they're
They
struggling.
act
I don't
like
know.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I sure act like it. And so I'm like, I'm always going to defer to being the least bit distracting that I can be.
Yeah.
And I'll allow other people to be annoying.
Yeah, I just wish
so I can
more
complain
people
about it.
would. I wish more people would think that way, because that's all we're asking for.
I request a straw. So they, when they bring you your drink at Alamo Draft House and they say, "Would you
Nice.
like a straw?" And I say yes, because I've been in the theater when people are drinking in there. They've almost got their entire drink done, and it's just the sound of ice going back and forth in their plastic cup.
Nice.
Yeah, you'd rather risk a little tiny at the very
That
end.
said,
Yeah.
we were next to somebody during Zone of Interest, or somebody in front of us during Zone of Interest, who got a milkshake and decided that they were going to, during the quietest part of the movie, get every last drop of milkshake out of the bottom of that
I
cup.
paid $8 for this.
It's not really often offered anymore, but whoever decided that nachos was a good idea at a movie theater?
I love them
Out
though.
of your
Dark theater.
mind.
Yeah.
Now our nachos, I see we got kind of a, I can't decide if I like it or hate it, but our nachos are all prepackaged, kind of like a little cellophane thing, and you got to pop it open and everything, and you can put your cheese in another little container and then pour it, or you can go outside and you can do it. But anyway, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. But yeah, there's always somebody that comes in with the nachos and the prepackaged thing is tearing it up.
Yeah. Well, it just
Having
is,
said that,
it feels like the worst thing to eat in a theater because it's dark. It's hard enough not
Where's
to
the
drip
popcorn?
Yeah, it's hard enough not to drip hot queso on you when
Okay.
you're eating it
Yeah,
at the
that's true. Okay.
at the Mexican restaurant, but let alone in the dark. Oh my gosh.
I thought you meant making a mess in general. Like popcorn always escapes me. It can be full daylight, and I can be trying to eat popcorn and half
Well,
the
maybe
kernels are gonna
maybe
escape.
don't take a full fistful all at once, Brian.
I don't
and just
fist
have
it.
like
I don't fist my popcorn.
four
all right?
kernels at a time.
I don't fist it. I pick them out one at a time, looking at them.
Do you bring in chopsticks? A lot of people like doing that now. They do the
Chopstick,
chopsticks.
I know that. Yeah,
I would
that's-
punch somebody. That's
I
not
would
nice.
too.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it
Just
either.
a rubber glove. No, I'm always the person who gets home from the movie theater. Oh, it's time for bed. All right, well, start taking my clothes off, and a kernel falls out of my shirt as soon as I take it off.
Yeah.
Hey, Colonel.
That happens. I have that. That happened yesterday. I had some popcorn yesterday, and at night, went to bed. Kernel fell out.
Kernel falls out.
Yeah. Went to bed, and I just
You
said,
ain't eating popcorn right if all of it goes in your mouth.
"Yeah, you can't, you can't possibly be succeeding in your popcorn life."
Oh, and these parents who had the autistic kid, they didn't give him the popcorn. No, they doled it out every 5 minutes onto a napkin. Oh, he's not going to eat much. And then he'd stand up and dole him some more. And I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
Jesus.
you
Once
really
again,
you were
mad at the
tested.
parents.
Yeah, you were tested that
Yeah.
day, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
passed. You passed the test, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't get
But
mad
I
at
get
the
it.
kid.
It's a big struggle. I don't have an autistic kid, so I don't have to deal with none of that stuff. So then I also felt bad constantly. I'm like, oh, just shut up, Brian. You're so lucky to be here with, seeing a movie.
You're so lucky. You live in a time where you can freely go see a movie, Brian. So quit complaining. You
Shut
bastard,
up, Brian.
Dirty bastard. I like this trivia about this movie. The film contains 960 visual effects shots. The 3D model of Godzilla itself, made up of 500,000 polygons, appears in 327 of these shots.
Is that a lot of polygons?
Yes. Had the graphics been rendered on a single computer of any kind in 2014, it would have taken 450 years to render it.
Well, I'm glad they didn't do that. I couldn't wait that long.
You could do this for any movie, really. This is not like that.
Yeah.
You could just say, if they only had one computer, the last Pixar
that's
movie
right.
would have taken 1,000
If they were
years.
Increase your budget.
If they were using a TRS-80 color computer, this movie would have taken 1,000,000 years to produce.
Yeah, it is a weird stat, but for whatever reason, I've always enjoyed the math of special effects. There's something interesting about how you need a farm, like a server farm, to get shit done. Although I guess it's less and less, right? The original Toy Story you could probably do on a single computer. Back then they used like a farm of like 500 silicon graphics machines or something. But today you could probably do that on a, double NVIDIA based something.
I was very pleased with the computer generated backgrounds and everything in this movie.
Yeah,
There wasn't a moment when I was like, "Oh, this is video game footage."
Yeah.
No, it was
It
great.
looked good, right? What'd you think of poor Caesar's Palace, Brian? A bit after that, after the aftermath.
I know that is the first thing I do is like try and identify. Oh, where are they at? Which casino are they supposed to be in? It's like, oh yeah, it's clearly Caesar's Palace, and
They
Caesar's got
destroyed
wrecked.
Paris, Las Vegas.
yeah. Oh yeah, like they sent the Eiffel Tower into Bellagio.
Yeah.
They speared the Bellagio with the Eiffel Tower.
You might
I
argue
was
they
looking to make sure Cosmo was okay. That's what I care about.
Yeah, the Cosmo is your jam. But when that fell in there, I went, you should leave that. Like, even when you fix the rest of the city up, a giant tower laying in your fountains, it's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool.
Yeah.
What is the first movie that we're going to get where somebody uses the MSG sphere as a bowling ball?
I know, dude. I was thinking about that too.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Probably one of these Kong.
Kong Y. It'll be Y.
Kong Y Godzilla.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? Like, there's somebody somewhere right now is making a disaster movie, and they're going to set it in Vegas, and they're stoked about this, right?
They're going to roll the sphere down the strip like a big bowling ball.
Yep.
Is what they're going to do.
Yep. Or they're going
But
to, if it's a
It's
shell.
not a complete ball.
Yeah, that's a true.
problem.
It will be for the movie, though.
Yeah.
we all know it's like it's not,
when they
but
pick it up, there's going to be Bono standing there on a stage, like, "What are you doing?"
Put me down, he'll say.
He's going to be rolling by and making his...
Yeah.
He's going to be, uno, dos, tres, catorce. Oh!
I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Also, you could take it as a hat. Kong could wear it as a hat because it's not a full ball.
There you go. It's like an astronaut hat kind of thing, or a helmet.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Speaking of King Kong, Andy Serkis provided consulting work on this movie for some of the capture sequences in order to, quote, control the souls, unquote, of the creatures. It's interesting.
Yeah, it was all mocap. The all of the different monsters. Like they had in the credits.
Yeah.
Who played each of the different monsters?
I feel like
T.J. Storm as Godzilla and Matt Cross and Lee Ross as the Mutos.
I think that's really cool.
He made out with his brother?
He did.
No, not Matt Cross and Lee Cross. Matt Cross and Lee Ross.
Yeah.
That's okay. No relation. I got you.
The team of Cross and Ross as the Mutos.
Yeah. They're amazing legal work if you've been in an accident, but they're good in here as well.
Was there any cutscene? Was there any cutscene with more of the Muto loving? Because we just got a little bit of hug kiss. But I'm pretty sure that's not how Mutos reproduce.
I have a
we
nephew.
Gotta see what they did to fertilize all those eggs with the bomb stuck in the middle of it, like a Dairy Queen blizzard.
I have a nephew who's half Korean, half Japanese, named Muto, and the whole movie, I thought they were saying it's Muto, like it's
Muto.
a little different. But every time they said it, I'm like, oh boy, that's my nephew. Let's not invoke his name.
By the way, if you go to the Godzilla 2014 page and you're looking up who did the mocap stuff, and you're like, oh, T.J. Storm, he's a American actor, stuntman, dancer, and martial artist. Cool. And then you go to Matt Cross and it links to his page. And then you go to Lee Ross, who was the other one of the Mutos. It links to Lee David Ross, was a Canadian-American professor. He held the title of the Stanford Federal Credit Union Professor of Humanities and Sciences at Stanford University. Probably not the mocap guy for the Mutos.
Probably not.
Sounds like they got something crossed. I don't think that's right. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did with his name again with the cross part. I like that.
Yeah. Chris Cross.
Yeah, Christopher Cross. He's also represented here at 355 feet tall and a full length of 550 feet, 2 inches, which is a weird. I don't know why they threw the 2 inches on there.
We haven't talked much about the monster design in this one, but he's really beefy.
He's really big.
I remember there being a lot of when they first released the monster design. I remember a lot of people going, "Oh, he's too beefy. He's too big." I'm like, I like it.
They showed him at what they claim. They claim here he's a weight of 90,000 tons. This is the biggest and heaviest Godzilla would ever be portrayed in any film up to this point. These new ones are all the same, but he was never this big. I mean, of course, the old shit with the stuff with the suits where he flips people off and like glides on his tail and stuff. I mean, he didn't look very big then, but I don't think they were tracking that kind of stuff in the 1960s.
While we're looking at credits, anybody got a good explanation for why Godzilla is credited as Godzilla?
Probably because they're trying to be funny, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, we did that thing with Bryan Cranston's credit. We could also do that.
Like they in the end credits, they say Godzilla played by Godzilla or Godzilla as himself.
It's on IMDb. Go to the full cast list and scroll way down.
And it's not credited towards T.J. Storm.
I wonder if there was like one of those, you know how they have a TV scene where it's like maybe Godzilla's in the background or something, and so Godzilla is Godzilla or something like that.
Well, they only have to do that if Godzilla has a SAG card.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
He may.
Yeah. I wonder if he picketed during the strikes.
If you had to pan up to see him, he was there. you thought that was a tree back there? No,
right.
No.
All right.
Archival footage. Godzilla playing himself in archival footage of Godzilla.
Right.
Yeah. It's a cool movie. I recommend it. I think it's a good time.
I recommend it as a start to the series. I feel like it's whoever described it as the DC to the later films being very Marvel as far as that, more fun. It nailed it. This is not quite as fun as the movies.
It's worth the price of admission to watch Bryan Cranston just lose his shit about his wife. I want to see kind of that movie all by itself.
Yeah, with his Bryan Cranston and his Romulan hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bryan Cranston in his Charlie Day scene, his conspiracy theorist moment.
Yeah.
I feel like we just kind of flipped right through that, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute, what is this? Like, if I was the adult son and I came to visit dad and he was surrounded by conspiracy theory walls, we'd look at all of that, we'd stop and have a look.
Yeah, we'd have a discussion about your weird things you're doing there, Dad. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's funny, I wrote down the haircut as well. That cracked me up. But
the only other note I have that we haven't talked about is zip discs.
Yeah, zip discs.
Yeah, zip discs were amazing. I got to get back. Oh, I was like, what are you going to do with that data? Get out of here.
The discs might still be intact, but nobody's got a zip drive 15 years later.
Nobody's got a zip drive. Nobody has that application that you can run that's going to show you all this. Exactly. File formats aren't the same. I'm like, get out of here.
You think it was like they're just
data points?
It's like the government never changes old stuff, though. Maybe it was like that.
Right. We haven't upgraded our systems in 15 years, so we have a Jazz drive too. If you've got one of those,
that's true. I didn't
How
realize.
much would a Jazz drive hold? Is it 1 gigabyte?
It was 1,000. Yeah, it was a gigabyte to the 100 megabytes that the zip drive would hold.
Yeah, I had both those things. Still have them somewhere.
I think I might. I also.
Do you have any important Godzilla data on it?
Nope.
Seismic activity?
Nope. Just
actually,
just a little
drive,
seismic. A little seismic stuff.
There's they made a 250 for a while. It was a 250 megabyte version of the zip.
Is it double?
I don't know. It was more than double.
I can't remember it. It
was more than double. It was just called the zip. I think they still call it zip drive, but it was a little more space age looking. It had like a cool shape to it and stuff. And Iomega, the company, they were based here. They were in Roy, Utah, this like podunk town up north, but they had this big plant there. And then someone bought them, and now they're gone. They're done.
Now they're gone.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. They had a moment there.
You know what else is unfortunate? Not enough Sally Hawkins in this film. I could have used more. I mean, she was, the role as written was fine.
She was a couple years away from Alien and
Fish Love.
Fish Love, yeah.
yeah.
We get more of her in the next films, don't we? We get her in.
Does she carry forward? I don't remember.
She carries forward.
She comes back.
Oh, all right.
I don't think her role gets much bigger though. She's still just there to hang out with Ken Watanabe go.
King of the Monsters.
I think that's it. Just King of the Monsters.
Oh yeah, she is back as Dr. Vivian Graham. Boy, that thing got casted out hardcore. There's I love Kyle Chandler. Is in it. Vera Farmiga. Let's see, Thomas Middleditch, Bradley Whitford, Charles Dance.
Yeah.
Strathairn's back. We haven't even talked about Strathairn. Look at him rolling around. Doing angry military man stuff.
That's right.
That's cool. I like that. Oh, Joe Morton shows up. He's the guy. You see him in everything, but he's the dude from Terminator 2 who discovered the hand, or the old severed arm of the Terminator, and then built the machines based on that.
He's the one who basically sits there at the very end, like holding the bomb, and says, "As soon as I die, I'm releasing this."
And he's shaking
this button. Yeah.
Never forget.
You may want to get out of here because as soon as I die, I'm releasing this button.
Yep, that's the guy. Anyway, that could be fun one day to get to this one and watch this.
Oh, I think our plan is to do this every 4 months as well, probably, right, Randy?
Yeah, why not?
Sure. I mean, there's just so much. I want to see it right now. I want to sit and binge all this.
I mean, it's all on Max right now, but
I think I've seen all of it except for the latest one. It's at the theater.
What's this Doherty guy? What has he done? He directed.
What have you done, Doherty? Tell me something.
He wrote and directed King of the Monsters, but what else? Oh, he's written a lot of stuff. X-Men 2, Superman Returns, The Krampus.
That's all quality stuff.
Trick or Treat, the newer one, the remake.
What? Did he do the Trick or Treat?
Not the old one, the newer one.
Not the old one.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I didn't think that was right.
He did, let's see. He directed Trick or Treat and then Trick or Treat Making Friends.
Making Friends.
Krampus and then Godzilla King of Monsters. So that's, boy, you know what? These directors for these Godzilla movies, they're like one and done. And they don't do much after that. Like he hasn't done shit for a while. Maybe Randy has a point about what happened to Gareth Edwards after Godzilla. It's like he disappeared for a while.
It's there. I mean, I hope the guy is like, living his best life,
fine.
right?
Oh, he's doing fine.
It's just, I hope it's not the case that like he made some bad friends, but some enemies or something.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Well, not that I know of. I mean, who knows? We can make a conspiracy theory. If you direct a Godzilla movie, you also you do rapes and things like that. You're terrible. We could say that. Right. We shouldn't say that.
We shouldn't say that.
But we could say it.
Not true.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be true.
He's scheduled to direct the next Jurassic Park film. So next year, 2025.
He's doing well for himself then.
Who?
Monsters?
Gareth Edwards? Oh yeah, Gareth Edwards. Yeah, that's cool. I thought for whatever reason I thought he'd already done one of those, but this is his first of that, right? Yeah,
he's taking his time. I think he's doing good.
He's just got Monsters, Godzilla, Rogue One, and The Creator. His movie credits. His
directing credits. Yeah.
His
visual
directing and writing credits.
Visual effects credits, you might think, those are huge, but it's only like another 9 or something. So he's not. He's a weird one, man.
I like him.
Guy came in
taking his time.
Came in out of nowhere. Yeah, came out of nowhere. Made one of the best Star Wars movies ever, and that would be enough for me.
I've got a little film sack trivia for you.
Do it.
I'm going to name 5 top billed actors in this movie.
Go.
Okay.
And we've only ever seen one of them before on Film Sack. The others is our first one. It's Aaron Taylor Johnson, Elizabeth Olsen, Juliette Binoche, Bryan Cranston, and David Strathairn. Who have we ever seen before?
Well, I know we've seen Strathairn. Yeah, because we did he's in the Bourne movies, 2 of them, I think, or at least one. So I think
good answer. You're correct. Ding ding ding.
Who else?
We've never seen Elizabeth Olsen before. We've never seen Bryan Cranston before on Film Sack.
Weird.
Yeah, wow. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that, but then I would be hard pressed to guess what movie we would have done that's Bryan Cranston.
They're doing a lot more newer. They've been in they're a lot more recent. I mean, in comparison to a lot of the movies.
Yeah.
If you did if you did it weighted and said, okay, what have we looked at? Most of us, old shit.
That's true. Yeah,
for sure. And you got to remember, she's the little sister of the Olsen twins.
Yeah,
she's kind of recent.
Yeah. She's really good in this. Yeah, she is 100% the best of them. I really liked her in this. It was a small role. They don't give them much to do, but I still really like her in this. Didn't
you spend most of the movie though wishing she'd just bust out some Scarlet Witch powers?
Hell yeah,
this would have been amazing.
Totally, yeah. Just bend reality and squash the widows out of existence. Yeah.
It's weird to think.
No, but every time she's like crying and hugging her child, I'm thinking, it's just like Wanda does in Multiverse of Madness and WandaVision. And
it's a little weird that it's 1 year before Ultron. I always have it the other way around. That Ultron came first.
No kidding.
Yeah. 2015 was Ultron.
Where is this in relation to Spike Lee's Old Boy, where she's getting it on with Thanos?
That's a Spike Lee movie?
That's a Spike Lee movie, yeah.
What? I knew about the remake.
The Old Boy remake, yeah.
I knew about that. I did not know he directed it.
A year later. Old Boy comes out a year before this Godzilla.
No, this is... No. Old Boy came out 2 years after.
2013.
2016.
I'm showing for Old Boy. For the Spike Lee Old Boy.
What the hell am I looking at?
The Spike Lee Old Boy.
Old Boy is coming up weird on... Oh. That's a composer. Hold on a second. Okay, yeah, you're absolutely right. That was a year after.
And just to be really clear, we're going to sack that movie, yeah?
Which one? Are we going to sack the original Korean film, or are we going to sack the remake?
Have we done that?
I feel like we need to sack the Spike Lee one because it's got Charlton Copley in it.
Yeah.
I just have to see that.
I'm down with that. But it's got that incredible, the original has that when they do remake that scene for the new one, but that incredible scene with dude fighting his way through hallway after hallway of bad guys. And
it is amazing. All right, that original is amazing, but there's no... Can we get it dubbed? Because I'll need that for clips.
Oh, that's a really good point. All right, let's do the new one. Plus, we got what's his face? Nick Fury's in this one too.
Yeah. Plus Thanos and her get it on.
And what's his Soprano Michael Imperioli dude and
Rami Malek.
Love him.
Palm Clementieff Scott.
Love her. Love her. She's my MCU crush.
Lance Reddick.
All right, I'm in.
Rami Malek.
Now you got me in. Now you got me excited.
I still can't believe this Spike Lee movie. You guys are killing me with that. That's amazing to me. I did not.
Spike Lee joint. Scott.
Joint. Sorry, joint. I mean, I know he's veered off into stuff that isn't typical before. The Inside Man's amazing.
Man. Yeah.
Love that movie. So I'll you know what? That's the one we should do. That's Film Sack.
Yeah. Yep.
That's Film Sack.
That's Film
Put it on our
Sack.
list, Randy.
Yeah, put it on there, damn it. Here comes the part of the show where we do some clips. And we got a few here. And I'm going to play them. Here we go. Let's see. Let's start with this one. This is a broken... What? I don't know what this means.
What?
I'll start.
What
The
did I
very
write
first
here?
one, I don't know what I wrote. So here it is. Enjoy.
This one looks broken. Like something came out of it.
Oh, shit. Here's one. You don't say that.
Don't say that. Don't you say that.
All right. That's that part you like, Dunaway, with the freak out.
That was a
love it.
total Bryan Cranston moment.
So good.
Oh, yeah. This is him early Breaking Bad finding out the tub broke and Jesse put too much shit in it, or whatever.
Don't say that. Don't you say that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely that. Here he is again. He's very angry.
I want my son.
I assume those are the same things. He said it in Japan.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
For all of you who don't speak Japanese, I'm going to repeat this.
Most of the watching audience.
This movie did that a lot. It explained a lot of things, or tried to.
Godzilla minus subtitles.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Here's the bag. I played this earlier, but I still like it.
I want my bag.
I think that's great.
I want my son. I want my bag.
Yep.
Well, my bag is zip
I
disc.
want my comb.
Yeah.
I want my sack.
Yep.
my sack.
Bag is a sack.
This is how we know this movie is a kaiju movie, not a Transformers movie.
That is not a transformer.
Okay, it's not a Transformer. Let's see. Oh, here's the acronym, and here's your Stratherin.
MUTO, massive unidentified terrestrial organism. It is, however, no longer terrestrial. It is airborne.
Oh, shit.
So we'll say it's a
Matu now.
Wow.
No, Amuto.
Which was the one that flew, the male or the female? Which one?
The male flies.
Okay.
He's smaller and flightier.
Okay. No, I'm just...
Like you.
It's based on something... There's a lot of birds that do this.
It's a pretty common. I mean, because the male's got to
Usually
be
males are more
mobile and
brightly colored, and
Yeah.
the male's got to be mobile. The lady's usually she's gonna throw the eggs where she's at.
Yeah,
Go,
plus
here's the
the
eggs.
men need to, or the birds have to impress the mates before the girls have anything to do with them. You know, it's like we're flipped as humans a little bit, although we do this too. Whatever. When you go to bars, you're looking for girls. I never did any of this, so I'm making this up. But if you go, and you're cruising, you got to look good and smell good. And if you don't, the bird's just going to move on to some other.
Well, look, I've never had 100 babies at one time, so I can't talk about it.
No, throbbing babies, freaking electro-throbbing babies. Japan. Oh, say the name, but Japan style.
Gojira.
I love it.
Also a great band.
We didn't talk.
According to the extensive trivia, Ken Watanabe insisted on that pronunciation.
Hell yeah, because that's the way you're supposed to say it.
He was given a script that said Godzilla, and he was like, "Nope."
Why would he say that?
I'm gonna say Gojira.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't
make any sense for him to say.
You know
it
what's
like that.
crazy?
I
Is this
agree.
only 3 years off of Inception for him? That's weird. That feels like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Here's this one. Our first roar. I don't think I like it as much as later roars, but here's the first roar we hear. It's fine, but they just mixed it with a lot of shit, and it wasn't iconic.
It's an appetizer.
Yeah, it got better later. A female.
This one doesn't have any wings.
A female.
A female.
Oh, a female. Oh, that's sick. I'm kind of into that.
Yeah. They do this for dumb viewers who don't read.
8:15 in the morning, August 6, 1945.
Wait for it.
Hiroshima.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
I
wow.
love the music. I love the backing music on that. It's like you want to get closer and closer as they talk. You're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. But that's a script consideration when they're all sitting around going, are people going to know what we mean if we just give the date? We better say what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of hate that. Cool sounds coming out of them creatures. Love that shit, dude.
Wow. That's cool.
So cool. Here's another one. That's just cool.
Yeah. I'm assuming that they were like, because whales. So I'm assuming that's what they were kind of like going with. It's like what calls out over long distances whales do. And so it kind of had like a whale vibe.
Good call. Yeah. Plus the whole
good.
echolocation stuff and all that helped.
Yeah.
With that. Here's Dunaway when you've had too much pork. All right, so check this out. You all right?
Yeah. I would say not enough pork. That's my belly asking for more.
Excellent.
Pork belly.
Here is Wayne from Letterkenny.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's not the right one. This one.
An analog timer has been installed, and the Mudos are frying electronics within a 5-mile bubble. It means approaching from ground is not an option.
Yeah, Jared Kesso in the small role of crazy uptight
I didn't
guy.
realize that until you pointed it out.
No, I didn't either.
I thought he looked familiar, and I went, wait a minute. And I went and dug, and then I went, oh, it's Letterkenny. It's Wayne.
He was only like 19 when he made this movie.
Ooh, no, 19.
That's how do you get these?
Average age.
How do you get cast in a movie like this?
Anyone know if he's still on the possibility list for Wolverine? I heard something about that somewhere. That he was being considered for the new Wolverine. I don't know if that's true. He'd be good, though.
I think everybody's being considered. Are you hairy?
He's stocky,
Muscular?
buff, hairy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grumpy, can make a face, that stuff. He's pretty good at that. But
I'd be all right with it.
Yeah.
Totally all right with that.
I do love how he has typecast himself because he spent the last like 8 years squinting at the camera. Like that's all he ever does. Squint, and it's very funny.
Yeah.
But it's like if this guy ever opens his eyes fully, we're not going to know who he is.
Right.
He does it with the new one. He does. What's it called?
That's true. In Shoresy, he is
Shoresy,
a completely different person.
Yeah, Shoresy really shows off a different side. I love Shoresy. I think Shoresy's amazing. It shouldn't be. It should be shit, but somehow it works.
I keep telling people you don't have to like hockey to like Shoresy. Trust me.
I agree.
This is not
What
about.
if you do like hockey?
I don't even think you
not-
need to like Letterkenny to like Shoresy. I think Shoresy stands on its own in a kind of a different way. It's really good. If you haven't seen Shoresy, see Shoresy.
I've not seen Shoresy,
I think you'd like it, Brian.
but I've seen Letterkenny and I like it.
Oh, good. Well, you're in good company. What that means? What am I doing here?
You're in Grumpany?
You're in
good
Grumpany.
hands.
You're in good hands, America. Let's do this. It's time for the Film Sack checklist. Take forever to show the big guy? Check. Vegas got a new butthole torn? Check. You Cranston, I'm sorry, let me do this again. You Canston have your Cranston for the whole movie? Check. Nope. Didn't quite pay off. Let's see.
It's sad.
It is a little sad. Star Trek connections. Now, I think I know one, but I would like to hear it from Randy first to see if I'm guessing, because I didn't look it up.
I'll bet you don't.
I think that Strathairn has been in something, but I'm probably thinking of his role in
Feels like it.
the other one. Beltalowda.
The Expanse.
The Expanse. I'm probably thinking of that, and because I revere that role so much, I probably placed him in Trek somehow. So tell me I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, you are wrong, and I'm sorry for that because like David Strathairn's voice is just like it's legendary, right?
Yeah, it's so good.
Be amazing.
Yeah.
We have two smaller, much smaller connections here. They were both interestingly in 4 episodes of Star Trek stuff. So our first is an actor named Hiro Kanagawa. We talked about him recently in Lectra. In this movie, he plays a character named Hayato, bit role standing next to others. In 4 episodes of Star Trek Discovery, he was Dr. Hirai.
Okay.
Then we have
Here I am.
Yeah. Then we have an actor named Brian Markinson. In this movie, Brian Markinson played Whelan, I think one of the soldiers that gets a few lines.
Okay.
He was in 4 episodes of things. He was in the Next Generation episode Homeward. He was in Deep Space Nine, the episode In the Cards. And he played 2 different characters in 2 different episodes of Voyager. He was Lieutenant Peter Durst in Cathexis, and he was Sulan in Faces.
Wow. Oh. Dude, these 2 got around. All right. Well, no Strathairn then. By the way, I did see Strathairn not too long ago in my rewatch of The Sopranos, and he plays one of the worst characters ever put to film. Such an ass. If you ever get around to seeing it again, for some reason, he's the guy at the school. I guess he's like a superintendent at a school. Ends up having an affair with not Tony's, but Tony's wife. Can't think of her name. Carmela, duh. He's a horrible piece of shit. Just
really?
a piece
Wow.
of shit. Oh my gosh, it made me kind of hate him for a minute. I had to wash it out.
Can separate sometimes the right.
Yeah, because he usually plays somebody I quite like, or
Yes.
a more two-dimensional kind of villain type guy, like in the Bourne things. But in that, he's just really an ass. Anyway, moving on to the alternate titles.
He was a villain.
go ahead.
He was a villain in The Firm, right?
Oh, I don't know. I thought that was
Firm.
diabetes. Yeah, Wilford Brimley. I can't think of anybody's name today.
Enjoying it.
I can think of diabetes. I can think.
It's been so long since we sacked The Firm. I think David Strathairn was one of the bad guys.
He might have been. He may have been one of the dicks at The Firm. There was a few.
He's one of the dicks
It's
of
a
the firm.
firm dick.
Dick
Firm
firm.
dicks.
Yeah.
I played a firm dick. All right, let's move on to alternate titles. This is this movie was almost called Godzilla versus the Horny Twins. That didn't happen though. That was a little too on the nose. So then it almost became Someone Turn on the Lights, Please. Because gosh dang it, it was dark. And not in a good way. All right. Filmsack at gmail.com is a place some people will send emails. And luckily we got one here from Nick Frazier, who wrote in and says, hello, Filmsack crew. First time, long time. I want to send a movie recommendation your direction in the form of Solomon Kane from 2009. This stars James Purefoy, Max von Sydow, and Pete Postlethwaite. The movie is actually a comic book movie based on the character of the same name from the pulp magazine Weird Tales from the 1920s about a devout Puritan who fights evil to protect the innocent in a land of magic and sorcery. In the movie, James Purefoy plays the titular character who is seeking to save his damned soul after a life of violence. It has excellent acting, a great cast, and a surprising high production value for the time. The special effects hold up even 15 years later. I think this movie is great and very entertaining, though a bit formulaic. It currently sits at 6.1 on IMDb and can be streamed for free on Tubi. Thanks for reading, Nick Frazier.
I'm in.
All right,
Cool.
I'll do
Yeah.
it. We haven't done
I'm
a
in.
Tubi ever, maybe. Have we done a Tubi movie?
No.
I don't think we've ever done a Tubi
Let's
movie.
do
Brian
it.
Dunaway does Tubi movies all the
love
time.
Tubies.
I love Tubi.
I'm Tubiing right
Somebody's
now.
gotta-
Josh, shut up. I can't hear what's
Yeah, I
happening.
can't hear
Somebody's
you.
recording from a kennel. It sounds like.
I think that's my dog. Sorry. I don't know what they're howling at. Howling at something.
Hold on, I hear them. I hear what they're trying to say. They're saying, "Don't forget to do the social media post." Woof, woof, woof.
Yeah, don't forget. Oh shit, Brian! Gosh dang it!
I'm still waiting to grade the soundtrack.
That was a
Oh my gosh!
that was a magical way to bring me back. You really killed it with that. All right, I'd give it a PS for perfectly suited for the material. Moving on to the social media post. Let's do this thing. We're all out of order here. It's fine. Am I right? Do the thing. This is where you guys sum it up in 280 characters or less, and you try not to page down with an accidental key press so that you miss in half the show. Let's start with Randy.
A Godzilla haiku. With great bomb we made a greater monster, and now he makes movie bombs.
That's a good haiku, I think.
It's very good.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, nobody tell Gareth Edwards, but I think it's pretty good. All right, nice job, Brian Dunaway. Why don't you give it a shot?
Godzilla, a monster fighter in the streets, a god in the sheets. Hashtag redacted.
Well done, Brian Ibbett. Take us home.
Godzilla 2014 minus Godzilla.
Nice. Well done. Also,
See, and you wanted to skip it.
I know I didn't
Yeah,
want
it's
to
funny
do
because
anything. I didn't.
I
want to
wrote
skip.
that right before it was right before I reminded you about tweets. My original tweet was Godzilla 2014. Universal decides they're so sure this Monsterverse is going to succeed, they decide to save Godzilla for future Godzilla movies.
Nice.
And I decided to shorten it to 14 characters.
I think they were both good.
Or less.
All right. Now we don't have an email to read, but we can jump straight to these texts.
Oh wait, do you want to grade the soundtrack?
Oh, I did. I gave it a PS for perfectly suited to the material.
Oh, you did. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Good point.
Well, I would like to say something about.
Oh,
the
go
soundtrack.
ahead, please do.
That's what it was.
I thought this scoring was very good. I was shocked whenever we heard like actual scored music by Alexandre Desplat. I was amazed by the where has this movie been all my life? I'm gonna go try to find the full score because it was really good.
It's good. Yeah. Would you know him from other stuff?
So Alexandre Desplat has been nominated 11 times for a Music Academy Award.
Nice.
He has won twice. He won the 2015 Academy Award for Grand Budapest Hotel music, and he won the 2018 for The Shape of Water. This is he's a very I don't want to say generic. He's just kind of like down the middle. This guy can be counted on to make music that fits the scene.
Gets the work done. Sure. I like it. Now we'll talk about text. 801-471-0462 is the line to use. We got 2 of them today. Here's one from Ozzy Fudd. Oh, this actually came on he's on the Discord as Ozzy Fudd. It didn't come through the Discord. Anyway, he says this. By the way, join our Discord, filmsack.com/Discord. Having a real brain day. My brain needs a wash. Anyway, it says FilmSack, on the latest Bond episode, you guys talked about how come more movies, he wrote come for some reason. How come more movies don't take the Bond approach to replace the lead? Other than Jack Ryan, I think Batman is the closest we've had, especially the 80s and 90s, that were vaguely connected, says Ozzy Fund. Yeah, that's you know what? The Batman thing, I think, is the closest we have to the Bond thing.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a dozen Supermen, like 6 in the last dozen years, right? With different movie properties and things like that. So Superman's also been frequently
we've had multiple Spider-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's true. Maybe comic books are the equivalent.
Sure.
And Bond was already kind of comic booky / pulpy, you know, in the movies anyway, not the books, but. So yeah, I think that's a good comparison. We have a stomach for replacing main actors in some cases, and I think that's one of them for sure.
And we sometimes don't like it, right? So like we don't have we don't have a long Hilary Swank Karate Kid series because we didn't like, for some reason, you know.
Oh, good point. Yeah, or we didn't like he brought up Jack Ryan. In the case of the TV show, that's different. I think the TV show's a different bag, and also we expect things differently from TV. But movie-wise, when they kept changing it from Alec Baldwin to Harrison Ford and then back to what's his bucket, married to J-Lo. I can't think of his name. What's wrong with me? The other he's played
Affleck.
Yeah, he's played Batman before.
Am I having a stroke?
It feels like it. 14 strokes in one episode of Film Sack. Jeez. But anyway, that Jack Ryan switch around, I never liked it. It always pissed me off. It didn't feel right. So sometimes I don't think we like it. But
there could have been a dozen Speed movies, but Jason Patrick ruined it.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. But he wasn't playing the same role. He was playing he wasn't playing the Keanu Reeves role.
Good point. Yeah.
He was a different
same with Karate Kid Girl. They were changing it fundamentally to a different character, and that's also very dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't know. Television.
Jason Bourne and Jeremy Renner, doing one of the Bourne movies.
Yeah.
But not playing Bourne. I
need these movies instead of trying to be sequels to each other, they should try to be anthologies in the same world. You know?
Right.
That's fun to me. Like that's why I love Fargo. That's why I love other anthologies. Just like give me your world and your vibe and your thing, but then just fill it with new actors and new stories to tell. I don't know.
Yeah, who is 004?
Who is 004?
Right. Oh, yeah, we all want to know.
Yeah.
See, that's interesting to me. Yeah. But that might be a TV show better than a movie, right? Because people have expectations about movies and James Bond, so I don't know.
We just have to assume because of GoldenEye and what's his face that all of the other 00 agents are bad, and James Bond is the only good one, the only trustworthy one.
Yeah, the only one that wants to get it on with Moneypenny. Moneypenny. Andrew from Colorado also wrote in and says, for Film Sack, during the pandemic, my friends and I watched Teen Wolf for a virtual movie night, and talking about the movie that we watched. And we were all so taken by Coach's 3 rules to live.
Yeah.
That we used a variation of them as a sign-off on our podcast ever since. And here it is, quote, stick to that and everything else is cream cheese, unquote.
Yeah.
They use it when they end their show. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Like I said, comedic writer. I think he wrote it. I think he punched up the script.
Yeah, I think so. That's probably true. Who can prove us otherwise? Nobody. That's who.
Nobody. Suck it.
Patreon mentions. Listen, we got no new members this week, but there are 3 people I'd like to mention who are just like been here for a while, and they just deserve a call out. Brent Rudman, Doo Doo Pie, and Tom O'Neill.
Make my doo-doo pie.
Doodoo Pie, and Tom O'Neill.
Pie.
You guys are awesome. Thank you all three, and everyone else who is currently a patron for being there. Usually we have somebody new every week, but this week we didn't. That just means you guys need to get on it. Let's just get
when you join the Patreon, you get to make any name you want. You can, Scott's gonna have to say it. So you just make your name anything you want to make it.
Yeah, if your name is
content.
If your name is chiropractic nipple bleed, I'll read it.
Ew.
There's no problem. I'll read it. And yes, there is a ton of bonus reasons to join. No ads, for example, no pre-show, or no, you do get pre-show content every week. What am I saying? You get art in the mail, monthly host episodes. Got something coming from Ibit soon, so watch for that. Can't
this
wait.
Week.
Oh, this week!
Yep.
Oh my, getting it
this
early.
Week.
Do you know the subject?
Yep, it's going to be.
Yes, we do.
Yep. Talking about how I come up with these shitty parodies every week and the process that I use.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. Parodyville. Yep.
I love it. I think that's great.
Exactly. Yeah.
What am I saying early? It's the middle of the month. I don't know why I thought
I usually try to do mine at the very beginning of the month, but I've been
brag
about doing that.
Well, April is going by in a weird flash.
It is.
Don't really like it. Anyway, go sign up today. Get off that fence. Sign up today. Patreon.com/filmsack. I don't know what our next movie is. Can someone tell me?
We're gonna watch not Hot Fuzz, but Super Fuzz.
Super Fuzz.
Ooh, Super Fuzz is a great one. Yeah.
Yeah. 1980. Terrence Hill.
You've been telling us to watch this for a while. Where's
Ernest Borgnine. Look at this.
It's on Amazon Prime right now.
Nice.
It seems to move. It seems to move around. Always be available. So we're gonna go ahead and sack it and assume that if you miss it this week, you can watch it next week.
It's also on Freevee, which is Prime's little free service. If you don't have Prime, so it's two ways to watch it. Great.
Anyone ever seen it before?
Nope.
I've turned it on before. Yeah.
I remember being told at the time it was the great, awesome new comedy hit of the year.
Yeah.
When I was a very young child, we'd have been 9 or 10 around then.
Yes.
Some of us,
and be aware it is a comedy intentionally. So I mean,
yeah, but it's a 70s ass wide collar, big giant mustache looking thing.
Yes, it
is.
For
whatever reason, those are the comedies that seem to work better for us to make fun of. Yeah,
I agree. So we're gonna find out together. Anybody else? Oh wait, you've seen it, Dunaway, but not.
I've never seen this. Up until a minute ago, I thought this was a Jackie Chan movie.
Yeah.
You're thinking Super Cop.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, some of these people are still alive. Jeez, not Borgnine though.
How are these people still alive?
Jeez.
I'm just surprised.
During the 70s and still alive today.
Well, some of them.
24.
Yeah, but these people are born in like the 20s. They're still around. It's amazing to me.
Borgnine, sure, but I mean, the's young people.
Well, he's dead. He's not. He's one of the ones that's dead. He died at 95.
He's lost his $50.
Yeah. If you guys ever get a chance, there's that weird, short-lived follow Ernest Borgnine around the country documentary that got made in like the 90s. It is one of the most weird and compelling things I've ever seen.
This thing is totally accessible on YouTube. I mean, nobody's fighting for the rights for that. So look at that.
Yeah. Oh, is
nice,
it
big, high quality?
Really?
4K quality, upscale? Jeez.
All right. If you don't want Freevee or Prime, you watch it on YouTube, I guess.
No commercials? Look at that.
Get your hairy fuzz on.
Hairy fuzz.
Don't get confused. It's hot fuzz, not hairy. All right. That is it for us. Filmsack.com is our website. You can go. Also, because Ibn and I are gone the very end of the month, so the way this is going to work is next week we'll have Hot Fuzz. The week after that, there will be a Film Sack, but it'll be one of our round tables. So look forward to that, and then we'll be back from our big event for a normal episode after that. So give everybody, a little heads up on what's coming up.
Super Fuzz.
Yeah, Super Fuzz is next. Filmsack.com is the website. Go there. Leave us reviews wherever you get your shows. That's going to do it for us, for me, for Brian, and for Randy.
Let them fight.
We'll see you next time.
Get more at frogpants.com.
Don't say that. Don't you say that.
Okay, jeez.
No.